This video is sponsored by EA. Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far, and thank you so much for joining me here for a very special video again today. Thank you so much again to EA for sponsoring today's video. We are ticking off number 3 of our Grim bucket list. So if you haven't checked out the other 2 videos already, I will definitely recommend doing that. I'll pop some cards in the top right hand corner for you. But we've created a house for Grim, and then we also created like a trapped mansion where every room kind of served as a different way for the Sims to die. A little bit morbid, but in today's video we're doing something a little bit more, I don't want to say unusual, but this was definitely something that I wanted to do. And when I saw the life and death trailer, I was like, I absolutely have to create a life house and a death house on the same lot. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So I definitely recommend grabbing your favorite beverage, cozying up with me, because I think we're going to be here for about 40 minutes there or thereabouts. So it's a slightly longer video today as both houses are completely furnished and we do finish them both on camera. So yes, very, very excited to be able to share this with you all today. And just as a reminder as well, I do have a creator code, which is RachelPedd. So you can pop this in the sims.com or the EA app, and this directly supports me as a creator. This is not a discount code, unfortunately. I wish it was, but it's just a direct way to support me. If you don't want to support me, that is absolutely fine. There is no pressure whatsoever. There are so many amazing creators out there who have their own codes as well, so I just thought I would mention it. But yeah, we do start working on the life house first, which is the house on the left here. So I went very stereotypical with these houses. I hope you don't mind, but the life house is obviously like more of like a white theme. It still has this kind of gothic element, but it's more angelic gothic is kind of what I was going for. And I used so many different reference images. They're kind of, both these houses are kind of like a Frankenstein mishmash of all these different houses that I ended up finding on both Pinterest and Google Images. So I can't put any of them on screen for you because there were just too many. So I hope that's not a problem for any of you. But yeah, I do love how these houses look and sit side by side, but each house definitely has its own standalone presence as well, which was really important to me when I was creating these. And like I said at the beginning, when the Life and Death trailer came out, my brain immediately went life house, death house on the same lot. Obviously we're actually able to do that now, especially if you have the for rent pack, then you can actually play in both these houses with 2 different families, which I think is such an interesting concept. And yeah, I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with these houses. So I do genuinely hope that some of you have families in mind, or you'll consider maybe downloading these and creating families to move in here. I'm always so keen to hear about your wonderful Sims stories, or when you share screenshots with me on my socials, so Instagram, X, whatever. I love seeing your Sims in my houses. It warms my heart, it really does. Anyway, landscaping wise, again, I wanted to go super colourful with this particular house, the life house, just to kind of symbolize the kind of life aspect of the house. So we do go quite colourful with the landscaping, very, again, soft, angelic. So we use pops of orange, green, yeah, there is green, pink, which is a really, really important colour here, because I think these pink flowers are from the debug menu from Life and Death, and they definitely caught my eye. And then pops of blue as well. I just think these colours kind of really accentuate, that's the word I was trying to look for, the external colour scheme of the house, and everything just kind of works. It comes together really nicely, and I think it works really well. So I'm going to make a disclaimer here as well, that the back gardens for these houses, I didn't really do much with them. I'm going to be honest, after how many hours did these houses take me? Maybe 7 hours, maybe 7.5 hours ish to build and create both, over several different sittings. I've had quite a busy week, which I'll talk about in just a second, but I lost speed. I lost kind of, not interest, but I was towing at the end, and I thought, okay, the back gardens, maybe you guys could do something with them. And also, I didn't really think it was too big of a deal because the back garden space, there isn't a heck of a lot of it, so I thought, you know, it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, then we start working on the death house, which is a very stark contrast to the life house. But just to talk about and touch upon why I haven't really been around for the last, it's been almost 2 weeks. It hasn't been quite 2 weeks yet. But my sister got married last weekend, so we went up to Gretna Green for her wedding, which was just incredible. And then my husband and I went away for the week to celebrate our anniversary, our wedding anniversary. We've been married for 5 years. And yeah, it's been really, really nice to kind of just switch off, because I was realizing that I was probably feeling a little bit more burnt out than I had realized, and so I hadn't really realized that I needed the break. And then when you actually go away, I think you do realize, yeah, I definitely needed that break. But I'm back, I'm rejuvenated. I need to get a little bit better, I think, at 2 things really. First of all, taking breaks when I need to. I am a bugger for not taking breaks when I need to. I just kind of plow through. And secondly, when I know that I'm going away, it was a kind of a last minute decision, kind of, but I did really have the time to kind of pre-record before I went, and I didn't. Again, I think because I was burnt out. So I need to get a little bit better at probably managing, not necessarily my time, but kind of prioritizing what's important in that moment. So definitely going to be a New Year's resolution for me. But anyway, you're not here to listen to me harp on about stuff like that. So yeah, the death house, again, as you can see, very, very stark difference, very stark contrast compared to the life house, and that is exactly what I was wanting to achieve with this. And I hadn't realized until I got into the interior of the death house that this is considerably bigger than the life house. I think because it's so much darker, you don't necessarily notice it like right here and now, but then when I moved onto the interior and started laying out the floor plan, started working out where all the rooms were going to be, I was like, oh no, this is a bit more of a task than I'd realised. I was kind of hoping that this video would have gone up yesterday, but I'm going to be honest, when I finished these houses last night, like I was so drained, I was so tired. I was like, I just want to go to bed. And that is exactly what I did, by the way. So I just thought, right, let's wake up Sunday morning, let's grab a coffee, which I have with me here, get this voiceover done, get the video edited. That's what I mean, edited. And then I can share it with you today. So it's only a day later than I'd planned, but I hadn't realised how much furnishing both of these houses at the same time, I didn't realise the toll that was going to take on me, which I know sounds really like silly when I say it out loud, but you'll know if you're a builder in The Sims or you do anything in The Sims, it can be a time consuming thing. And then you kind of sat there and you go, oh wow, I'm just so tired. So I was like, I could have done the voiceover last night, but I'm going to say this now. I do not think I would have sounded anywhere near as upbeat as I am now. I'd have been half asleep. I'd have been like, oh, I'd have just been so boring. Not that I'm the most interesting person in the world anyway, but definitely much more toned down than I would say that I am now. But yes, again, with the reference images, I used various different ones from both Pinterest and Google Images to create this house. I used different elements of each, and then at some point I got rid of all the reference images off my second monitor, and I just kind of went to town and thought, right, what do I think looks good in this moment? And I kind of just came away from using the reference images altogether. So yeah, I think these are quite unique looking houses. I mean, I'm not saying that they're super unique. I'm sure that there are many people who have created things similar to this, but yeah, they definitely haven't been created from one image, which I always enjoy doing, because then you do create something that really is quite unique, you know. And I know in The Sims it's difficult to stick to an exact replica of a reference image, but you got to just do your best because it's The Sims. So yeah, as you can see, back garden spaces, really nothing major there. So if you would like to add back gardens, please feel free to do so, because I'm going to be honest, I was feeling super lazy when I'd finished these, and I just thought, okay, there are some activities to do in each, but I definitely didn't kind of segregate the gardens in any way. I think because of the landscaping at the back, it kind of just put me off. So if you want to change anything, then please feel free. Anyway, this is where we start floor planning the life house. So I will be referring to these houses as the life house and the death house throughout the duration of this video. So I'm going to be honest, the upstairs of the life house kind of threw me off a little bit. So I didn't really know how to kind of floor plan this, but I definitely got there in the end, which was just a relief, I'm going to be honest. And I didn't cut anything out because sometimes it's just nice to see the struggle. It's nice to see the entire process. So I try and just include as much of that as is possible. And the first room that we do start working on is the living room here. So I used this beautiful fireplace from the new kit. I'm really sorry, I do not know what the kit is called. I feel like I've been away for almost 2 weeks and I've already missed so much. I do have the kits installed, obviously thanks to the EA Creator Network, but I wanted to try and create some sort of apartment kind of showcasing more of these items. So maybe I'll try and find a way to kind of interweave that into my incredibly busy schedule at the moment. But yes, anyway, I wanted to use this fireplace. I just think it kind of fit in this house really nicely. Again, with the kind of soft pastel-y life colours we decided to go with in this house compared to the death house, which is basically just all black with pops of colour here and there. So just wanted to make it so stereotypical because I feel like it's been a while since I've created like a really stereotypical like build. I'm probably saying that without any kind of backup to that. You know, you might be sat there thinking, Rachel, you created this house and that was really stereotypical. Everything's blurred into one for the last like 2 months. I feel like I've just been, I don't know, it's just been so weird. Anyway, whatever. Really unusual shaped living room here, so I kind of just tried to make the most of the space. I did try and use a lot of the Crystal Creations stuff pack items because I just thought that they would work really, really well in this house. And this little radio, that's from the new Build and Buy kit as well. I just thought it fit beautifully in this house, and we do also use it in the death house as well in the kitchen. It's really beautiful, it's so intricate, and it's something that I never knew that I needed in this game, and now that we have it, I'm like, I'm probably going to be using this a lot. So just wanted to point this really cute radio out. Yeah, I'm going to be overusing the heck out of that. And then I always forget, okay, in my builds, I'll always forget to clutter up certain spaces. This bookshelf, whenever I've placed it down, I always forget to clutter it up. So I was like, I'm not going to forget to do that in this build. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that I didn't include in the footage here. I even included all of the bathrooms, which is something that I don't really ever do. But I feel like we all need a really good catch up with me being away for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, let's just include the bathrooms. Usually I'd do like one bathroom from each house and then cut out the rest, but no, not in this one, not in this one. So I hope that's not too much of a problem. And I am also remembering as well that I haven't included any TVs in either of the houses' living rooms or anywhere in any of the houses. So if your Sims are big TV watchers, then I'm really sorry. You're gonna have to put your own TV in here, unfortunately. I don't think I'm alone in saying this, but I feel like with houses that are kind of styled like this, I feel like TVs are just, they feel so out of place when I place them. And I know that there's other people that feel this way, because sometimes when I watch speed builds, the creator will say it and I'm like, yes, it's not just me. I am not the only one that thinks this. And I think it just depends on the build as well. I think when you're doing 2 houses on one lot, for some reason my brain just goes, right, just include as much footage as possible. And then when I'm doing like apartments are different, I don't know why, this is how my brain works. And then if I'm doing like one house and then it has maybe 3 or 4 bathrooms, I've said this before on the channel, so I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself, but I'll film the first bathroom and obviously I'll do the other bathrooms, but I won't necessarily film them. So I'll just leave it out. I'll just leave them out because the bathrooms tend to be pretty much replicas of one another, and I'm like, who wants to see me decorate 3 bathrooms in exactly the same way? Nobody. Well, I don't think anybody would, so that's why I always leave it out. Anyway, we have moved on to the kitchen, another very oddly shaped room, but when you look at the exterior of the house, it kind of makes sense because the exterior of the house is a very, very odd shape, and it kind of has like bits coming off and like there's like an octagon bit in some of it, and yeah, I just had to make the best of it. Okay. And then I also realized that these houses, they're not supposed to be realistic. It's a life house and a death house. And then that made me kind of think, well, it doesn't really matter, you know, not what the rooms look like. Of course that matters, but I didn't think it mattered too much that the rooms were slightly obscure in shape, because it just added to the magic. At least I think so anyway, added to the whimsy. But yeah, I tried to use as many items from the Life and Death pack as possible as well, which was really, really important. I'm going to be honest that the Grimm's bucket list that EA have kind of challenged me to complete, it's been fantastic, because it's made me think outside the box so much more with not only my builds, but just my videos in general, because the next 2 videos, if you have a keen eye, you'll have already seen this. The next 2 videos that we're going to be doing for this Grim Reaper's checklist are actually cast videos. And when have you ever seen me do casts on the channel? And I'm gonna spoil it for you. It's been never. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see kind of how we tackle both of those videos. And I'm going to say that these 2 are going to be posted within the next week, because they need to be up before the end of November anyway. And then once all that's done, then we'll start moving on to the like festive and holiday themed videos and builds, which we all know I absolutely adore. And I'm going to be honest, this year I think I've worked so hard on the content over like the autumnal and Halloween period. If you're not too familiar with me kind of as a person, Halloween and autumn is my all-time favorite time of year, followed very, very closely by Christmas and winter. So I love creating those themed videos on the channel. I love it so much. So as soon as December hits, it's going to literally be the 1st of December, we will start working on our festive builds. And I'm really excited. As much as I have loved, and I genuinely have this year, loved doing our Halloweeny and autumn fall builds, I think it's going to be really nice to do some festive stuff on the channel as well. So I'm very, very excited. If there's anything in particular that you would like me to do or to check out, then please let me know, and I will definitely try to kind of weave that into what I already have planned, which I think for the autumn stuff, I was really, really kind of on it with the planning. With the winter stuff, because I've had so much going on with there's been so many things. I feel like I'm a little bit less prepared than I was with the autumn stuff. That's not to say that it's not going to be good. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, if you've got any kind of Christmassy, festive ideas, then please drop me some comments down below, and we'll see what's what. Okay, so we've kind of rambled through some of the kitchen, the hallway, the downstairs bathroom, and then this little room here. I decided to turn this into like a seance room. So we have the seance table from the Paranormal Stuff pack, because I think the family that live here, whilst they live in the life house, I think they maybe have a little bit of an interest in the afterlife, hence the seance table, right? So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. So and I'm going to be honest, I had no idea what else to put in this room because it's so tiny, but I definitely wanted to put something in there because I didn't just want to block off the space or anything like that. So I think that was a really cool idea. And then we do move out onto the porch very briefly just to add some chairs and some seating out here, which I've just realized I removed the rocking chair, but that's fine. And then I replaced it with like this little table with a bunch of flowers on, again just representing life. I thought that was really, really sweet. Now we move on to the upper floor. So this is I call this a landing. I don't know what anyone outside of the UK would call this. I know it's like the upstairs hallway. I don't know why I call it a landing. I don't know where that's come from. Anyway, whatever. So that's just very plainly decorated. And then I do very briefly go downstairs and change the railings on the stairs because they were clipping into the wall. I thought that's something that the Sims team had fixed, but then I realized I think it was because the other one that I was using was quite chunky, and so it was kind of coming through on the wall. bit irritating, but it is what it is, and so I did end up fixing it. And then this is the upper bathroom. Sorry, I don't think I've explained how many bedrooms and bathrooms each house has. So the life house has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and the death house has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. And I only remember that because I'm like, it's 2, 2, and then 3, 3. Super easy to remember. But yeah, remembering that the death house is considerably larger than this one. Hold on a minute. Does this have 3 bathrooms? Technically, I think it's 2.5 because the toilet downstairs is just a toilet and a sink. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so it's got 2.5 bathrooms. Okay, just ignore everything that I've just said. As if I've forgotten. I only finished building this yesterday. Like, what on earth? Anyway, this is the main bathroom for the house. Okay, so this is the main one, which is a full bathroom because it has like a shower bath combination thing. But yes, anyway, then this is the main bedroom. This is very plainly decorated, and it's the same with the death house as well. I don't know what happened to me with the main bedrooms, and I do talk about this quite frequently. Main bedrooms for me, I need to get more creative with them. I'm just going to put my hands up right now and say I definitely need to get more creative. But I have so much more fun with like infants' rooms or kids' bedrooms, and I feel like my main bedrooms are just so boring because I never know what to put in them, and I always feel like I've got too much wall space. And yeah, I think I need to change my mindset because clearly I just think, can't be bothered, and I think that does show sometimes. So I apologise for the kind of plainness of the decorations in the main bedrooms in both of these houses. If you need to change anything, again, please feel free. This is not my best work. Look, I had to furnish 2 houses at the same time, which is something I haven't. Have I ever done it? I have built 2 houses on one lot before, but I feel like I've furnished. The last time I did it, I fully furnished one and then partially furnished the other one, but I didn't want to do that with these 2 because they were supposed to be just completely different houses, and so I wanted to fully furnish them, and I felt like that would be better for you all as well in terms of downloading. Look, I was tired. I was really tired. And then after I'd done the main bedroom, I took a little break and then I came back. So then we finished off this house and finished off the kids' bedroom. So I imagine that this house is for 3 Sims. You could definitely put a bunk bed in here though, if you wanted to. You could add like an infant cot crib thing in the main bedroom as well, so you could definitely have up to like 4 or 5 Sims in this house if you wanted to. I don't think that would be too much of a problem or an issue, but this is just kind of how I envisioned it. And then I wanted to add a little bit more colour in the kids' room because it's a kids' room, whilst I very nearly gave them like the white bed, and then I very quickly realised that this is really cute baby blue and baby pink swatch, and it has little skulls on it, but the skulls have like flowers round, so I thought that kind of represented the life aspect as well, so I thought that just tied in very nicely with the theme of the house. You'll have to let me know if you agree or disagree with that one, but yeah, I thought that worked really well. And then I could have given this child a little bathroom off here, but what I decided to do instead was kind of give them more of like a hangout space with a couple of toys and some clutter pieces. So perhaps if they have some friends round or they just kind of want to chill out in their room, then they've got the space to do that. I just think that worked a little bit better. But yeah, I do quite like this room. It's not my favourite kids' room that I've ever done by any stretch of the imagination, but it is very, very cute. And then we just finish off with some more decorative pieces here, like some little ribbons on the wall. And then this beautiful light. I think this is from High School Years, if I'm not mistaken. I just thought it worked really, really well with, again, the theme of the room and the colour schemes and everything. So we put that there. And then we move on to our death house. So this is where we start floor planning the death house. I think this actually came together a little bit easier than the life house. Not entirely sure why. Well, yes, no, sorry. I am sure why. Because it's a much more simple, kind of more friendly shape, shall we say, for floor planning as opposed to the life house. Look, I was just working with what I had. I've talked about this on the channel many, many times. When I'm doing the exterior of a build, I'm not worrying about how the interior might look or anything like that, which is, it's dangerous. It's such a dangerous concept. There are much more smart people out there than me who will do like the exterior. I've seen them. The process is just completely different to me. They'll do the exterior of the build, like the shape. They won't even start roofing. Then they'll move on to the interior and go, right, will a floor plan work in this build? And if it doesn't, then they make small adjustments to the exterior. Floor plan's done. And then they'll move on to the exterior, start doing the wallpapers, adding all of the windows, doing the roofing. That is the smart way to do it. The way that I do it is not smart, okay? Because I have to love a house, and I mean fall in love with a house before I even consider the interior. So I don't think I'm ever going to change, I'm going to be honest. Whilst it's not the smartest way to do it, it's the RachelPedd way. So, it is what it is. Anyway, we've done the floor planning for the death house now. We've moved on to the interior. So as you can see, we're going for like a really obvious black gothic theme in here. Look. It's in keeping with the tone and the theme of the house. So I thought this worked really well. And because the room was so big, I actually decided to put a dining room table over here, which I think works really, really well. I love adding dining spaces to living areas. I've said this so many times on the channel. Whenever I do it, I just imagine your Sims on like Harvest Fest, or what's the what do we call Christmas in The Sims? Oh my gosh, Winterfest. Wow, that was close. I almost forgot the name of Christmas in The Sims, Winterfest. And I just imagine the fire's lit, the family's hanging out, they're kind of sitting down to dinner. It's so nice. I love it so much. But yeah, in the kitchen, we do actually have like a smaller dining room table off there as well. So there's plenty of room for your Sims to enjoy meals in this house, which is always very important to me. And while I've got it on my mind, I need to talk about this beautiful fireplace that came with the Life and Death pack. Oh my goodness. I mentioned it when I used it in Grimm's house, which was another one of our bucket list videos and challenges. And I said it's the most stunning fireplace we probably have. Will I be able to use it in every build I do? No, it's very specific to, I would say, kind of like a more gothic house like this one. But my goodness, it has the most beautiful detailing on it. And I was like, oh, I've got to use it in this house. Using the same bookcase that we used in the Life House, but in the Black Swatch, which obviously, and then again cluttering this up just with some trinkety bits from various different packs. This is not a pack restricted build. I've talked about this on the channel. I feel like I do need to do like a base game build, or like a base game and a pack build. It's been the longest time, so maybe we could do something on camera for that. Maybe we could do like a renovation of one of the EA houses, but we can only use like base game plus one pack. So if that is something, that you'd be interested in watching, then please let me know. By the way, I can talk. I know that this video does not really back that statement up, but I can 100% talk. It's just that sometimes I get a little bit excited when I'm talking and then I trip over my words. So rather than cutting out the video, I just much prefer to leave it in because it's what makes us human. Anyway, so that's the living room and kind of dining room, I suppose, done. And then we move on to the kitchen, which is this was bigger than I had realised. And I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot with this house, with a lot of the rooms. This house is so perfect for gameplay. Each room is just a really nice size, including the bedrooms and everything. So there's plenty of room for you guys and your Sims to enjoy each of the rooms. But yes, the kitchen, it proved a little bit difficult at first until I kind of got to terms and got my head around, okay, so this is what I need to do here. This is what I need to do here. And then once I kind of got into the groove, I found that I actually really, really liked how this kitchen looked when I was taking the screenshots for the end of the video. Like I'll always share screenshots of the build at the end with some music over so that you can just kind of unwind after hearing me ramble on for, in this case, 40 minutes. But yeah, I realized that it looked so nice. I don't know why. It was just a really photogenic room. Sometimes you get rooms like that where you don't realize how good they look until you finish them and until you're taking the screenshots. Someone please jump in and correct me, like, if that's not the case for them. But yeah, this is definitely the case with this room. And I used this huge, obnoxious chandelier from Life and Death. I had to have a reason to use this, and because we use the medium wall height, it just worked so perfectly. Okay, in an ideal world, I would have sized this down just a little bit, but because there's candles within the light, unfortunately when you size it down, the flames don't size down with it, so then the flames just float. And I always think that looks incredibly odd. So I ended up just leaving it the original size, which is massive. I use this cabinet as well from Jungle Adventure. I have talked so many times about this cabinet. I use it in some of my like more suburban-y type houses as well, and I love it so much. It's just so nice. It's lovely. It's perfect, and it comes in like the most beautiful kind of swatches, so you can kind of mix and match it to kind of match with any kitchen or dining room. And then speaking of dining rooms, this is the dining room of the build, the official dining room, but because the room's so small, the dining room table is actually smaller than the one in the living room, even though there's the same amount of chairs. So your Sims can use whichever dining room table they would like to use within that moment, which I think is kind of nice. Lovely grandfather clock in the corner, and then we put this little wood burning stove from Horse Ranch in here. I initially wanted to put a full scale fireplace in here, but the room just wouldn't allow for it. It was too small. I tried to add it over here, and it looked weird. I think I tried to add one over here, I'm sure I did, and it just didn't work. So I ended up adding this lovely cabinet from Life and Death, and then we just clutter it up with some decorative pieces. Nothing too fancy going on over here. And I use these books from the new Build and Buy kit. I'm so sorry, I'm gonna have to learn the name of it. I think because I haven't actually looked into it properly, I don't know the name of it, and I feel incredibly rude not knowing the name of it, because from what I've seen, it's genuinely stunning. So I'll remember the name of it for the next video, and we'll do better. We'll do better next time. But yeah, I tried to make like not a media wall here. That's not the right wording at all, but more of like a portrait sort of wall behind the wood burning stove, which I thought worked super well. And then we move on to the entryway. This is like so plainly decorated, it's not even funny. Like I just didn't know what to put here. So there's literally a rug, a side table, a mirror, and some flowers on the side table. And then we move on to the downstairs bathroom, which is a full bathroom. So we do use this bath and toilet. The bath is from base game, the toilet is from the vampire pack. We use that in both of the houses because I just think it's got that really unique kind of gothic look to it, and I don't really get to use this toilet in any other build, and so that's probably another reason I was like, I'm going to use this, because I don't ever really get to. And I really like it. I love how the toilets look. It's very in keeping with the vampire pack, that is for sure. But yeah, the toilets aren't like super kind of intricate or anything like that. They're functional as toilets and fit in with the theme of each of the houses. And I think that's probably the most important thing. So not too much going on here, I'm afraid, but it gets the job done, and that's the main thing. And then we move on to the upper floor and we start working on the main bedroom first. Another very plainly decorated main bedroom, I'm afraid. I just feel like I'm apologising for my main bedrooms at the moment, but I am genuinely sorry. Like, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, and another thing, looking back, and I'm just going to say it because I've no doubt that there's going to be someone in the comments, quite rightly so, pointing it out to me, or someone at least thinking it. Rachel, why have you used the same wallpaper throughout the entire house? And like the same flooring and everything. Look, it was a decision that I made at the time. And looking back, do I wish I had have given it some variation? Absolutely. I wish I'd have given it some variation. I didn't though. So again, if you would like to change anything and you think this looks pants, I am going to change this, then please do it. Please do it. Because I don't know. I just went into autopilot, and this is something that I do in other builds as well, where I'll just use the same wallpaper throughout the entire house, but like sometimes I'll use different colour variations. In this house, I did to a certain extent, but most of the rooms are the same colour. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm sorry yet again. Why am I apologising for this build so much? When I like the exterior of these builds. It's probably one of like the nicest exteriors I've done in a while. It's just the interior. There's certain things that I would change, but I always say that when I finish a build, I'll always go back and go, oh, that looks so bad. I would change this about it. And I'm like that in life, just in general. Like if I could do things over and over till I get it perfect, I would just never stop doing something because I'm my own worst critic. Yes, and then yet another bathroom. Do you see what I mean? Like there's only so much that you can actually say about bathrooms that look pretty much identical. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering what to say here now. So, but yeah, I mean, I suppose they're slightly differently decorated to one another, but I did add a bin in here, which is something I feel like I should be doing in my bathrooms. I'm going to be honest, is adding bins. Adding bins, that's definitely something that I need to be doing, because I think like I have bins in every one of my bathrooms at home. I'm sure you probably have bins in every single one of your bathrooms as well. And why do I never put them in my Sims builds? That's the question of the day. Anyway, another landing where I'm like, what do I put here? So I just kind of sparsely decorate it and then quickly move on to the second to last bedroom, which I decided to turn into a nursery because I used the new items from it's another kit that I don't remember the name of, and it's such a beautiful kit. Oh my god, I know that it was created by SixMCC. I'm not going to start thinking about the name of it because it's never going to come to me. But yeah, I decided to turn this into like a gothic nursery with the items from that kit. It was like this house was made to use these items, and so I haven't really had chance to showcase them properly. Here I am, this is the time, and beautiful, beautiful kit. These creator kits are genuinely stunning. Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, another very, very big room. Plenty of room for activities, plenty of room for the sim to grow into it and for you to make the changes that you need to make as the sim grows up, which is something that I always really enjoy doing for you all. But again, with the black colour scheme and the exact same wallpaper that we've been using throughout the entire build. And then this is the final room. This is kind of like a teen room. No, this is a teen room, and this is the room that I actually used more colour in because my idea was that this teen, I think, is a bit of the oddball of the family. Like they like colour. They like the gothic theme because you'll see sort of pops of gothic coming through the colour. However, they are experimenting more with, maybe this isn't for me. So I kind of wanted to show that within their bedroom. And this bedroom is so fun. And I think as well, because I was just sick of seeing the colour like black on all the walls and the floors and stuff, I was like, yep, okay, let's do a super colourful bedroom. So that is exactly what we did. And I really like how this looks. So I hope you all agree as well. But that is pretty much it for this video. We can all breathe a sigh of relief. So I would just like to say again, thank you so much to EA for sponsoring today's video and for giving me the Grim Reaper task list. I cannot wait to share the other two videos with you all as well, the cast videos. I'm really excited for that. But yeah, thanks again to EA, and I'll pop the checklist probably on the screen for you again, just so that you can kind of keep up to date with where we are and what we're doing. But yes, if you'd like to download these houses from the gallery, you can do so right now. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box just down below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much everyone for joining me here today. You all take care, and I will see you again next time. Bye!